Today, I want to talk about simulating and optimizing your process in JMP. Why do we want to do this? So the key takeaways from today is we're going to use JMP's prediction profiler, and this is an interactive way to visualize and work with models. I am not going to go in too much depth today about modeling because we have a lot of other videos on that. But you do have to start with some kind of a model, and even just one X and one Y that counts as a model. So what I'm going to show is that we can optimize multiple outcomes in complex models. And sometimes people call these multi-Y optimizations. And I really want to demonstrate how to use this tool to think about trade-offs. Additionally, I want to show you the Monte Carlo simulation tools. So you can use these tools to understand potential sources of variation or noise in your X's, so that things that contribute to your model outcome. So real briefly, we'll talk about how to visualize our process model in the prediction profiler. I'll go through the optimization process. And then the two things we'll consider are yield and cost. And then we're going to reduce our defect rate with simulations and figure out which of those settings will actually work the best. This is a pretty simple data set, and yours is probably going to be more complicated. It's helpful to have everything fit onto one screen to go through these examples. So I only have 7 columns here and about 90 rows. Oh, and I am using JMP 19. I do have JMP Pro, but there is absolutely nothing I'm showing you today that is JMP Pro. For my data, each row is a lot. And then I have what's basically yield, and the output of the lot. And I'm also tracking cost as a metric. And then I have 4 process variables. And let me just give you a little overview of the data. I already made this in Graph Builder. So here's my my lot output. And this is just not a model. These are just graphs, just showing you the overview of the data and each of my 4 process variables. And there's considerable variation. In all of these, they look like they're going off different directions. And so this is a good problem to model, to think about that complexity. For my yield, which again, I'm just calling lot output generically, I have a lower spec limit on. You do not have to use spec limits to use these tools in JMP, but a lot of people do. So that's why I included here a lower spec limit, and I'm not doing very good. I still have about 15% of my lots are below this spec limit. So it'd be nice if we could find some way to improve that. I love the JMP documentation. There are different kinds of profilers, but so again, we're using the prediction profiler. This is the list of everywhere you can use the prediction profiler. So it's in almost everywhere you would make a model. The one exception is fit Y by X, and you would need to run that in the fit model platform. Even though you just have 2 variables, that's okay. But so that's where we're going to go first. We're going to go to Analyze, Fit Model. My lot output is really what I want to look at, but because I have cost, we're going to go ahead and look at cost as well. And then for my 4 variables here, I think they might interact with each other. And I think they may also not be just a straight line. So in the world of statistics, those 2 terms are interactions, if they interact with each other, and then a quadratic if they are not a straight line. or a higher order polynomial. So we can do both of those things with this macro button here. So I select the columns, and then I'm just going to do response surface. And all of those variables get written in. I'm running the defaults, so standard least squares, personality, or other types of models. And then effect screening is the one that will turn on the profiler. You can always turn the profiler on under the topmost red triangle menu for that model in whatever platform you're looking at. All right, so again, I don't want to spend too much time on modeling, but as a best practice, so what I did is I threw everything into my model, and then I have a whole bunch of stuff that is not significant here. If I look at the p-value of my terms, so I'm going to take some of the junk out. And it does recalculate when you take each one out, so you should do this one by one. I have practiced, and so I know almost where I'm going. All right, there we go. So this is the model I'm left with, which has my 4 main effects, and then a quadratic and an interaction. My model's pretty good, right? If I look at my actual by predicted, it's significant. My R-square is 0.66. So I'm explaining 66% of the variation in my outcome. And there's other metrics you can look at. Again, there's a lot you can look at here in a model, but and likewise for cost. Cost is significant. We'll see this. Cost is not my main concern. It's kind of something I'm just tracking. And if it had no effect, then we would want to reconsider how important it really is. Okay, so this is a prediction profiler. And I've actually done a little resizing. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to do the optimization. And the word for that in the language of statistics and what JMP uses is called desirability. And so we're going right here under this red triangle. We're going to hit this a whole lot. I'm still in the fit model window. I just made things look nicer, resize. And it's right here, optimization and desirability. In 19, there's a control panel, but you can still do most of the things you want in the other versions. It just collects your tools for you. I'm going to go old school, since most people here are on 18 or older versions. Set desirabilities. And again, in older versions, it's going to show you one by one for each of your responses. So this is nice. It actually shows me what I want. I'm going to show you what those desirability functions look like, because they come up as another row on the profiler. I'm going to just demo match a target to start with, and then because I think this will help everybody understand where we're going. Okay, so if you're brand new to a prediction profiler, this is the visual equation of our model, right? And this is our lot output. The red is the mean, and the blue is the confidence intervals. And then below that, I have cost here. And each of these squares is one of my X's. So here's material, here's my vendor, my process time, and my application rate. And the desirability comes over here and writes stuff on the edge. So these are all the pieces of what we're looking at. And I am actually going to get you to focus on this right here. So you can see it drew my spec limit, but for match a target, right, you can see what the desirability is doing. And then cost, oh, it looks like the default here was maximize. And this is all interactive. So again, if you haven't seen this before, but that's not the right desirabilities. So let's go back and change that. So I'm going to maximize my lot. And for now, I'm not going to consider cost because I just want to maximize my process. And you can see the yellow here changed. I think it gets a little cluttery to look at. So I also frequently turn those back off, but I do want you to understand the mathematical and statistical underpinnings of what we're doing. Okay, so I set my desirability, but I still need to tell JMP to optimize. Very important. And to do that, we say maximize the desirability, and you will see the red dotted lines move around. And it changed. I need to scroll a little bit more on my axis, right? And so these are the settings that maximize my process, right? So it's a prediction profiler, and it says I should try these settings of 21.8 for my inflow speed, use my good vendor. It's a long process time, but I'm spraying some stuff on for the application rate, and I should do that in a shorter period of time. So I want to remember these settings. So I can come down here to my factor settings and click remember settings. And so this is my just my process optimization.